Hey, welcome back. So this is the second part of Fretboard Theory series, okay? So the first part we learned about separating into sections the fretboard, and we touched upon, of course, we know our notes already across these, hopefully these two strings, 5 and 6. And we learned how to identify a note in its octave anywhere in the copper or brown or dark strings. And today I'd like to just sort of talk about the silver strings, right? And then also show you why this is kind of a handy tool to know. So first of all, we've talked about within the gold strings, notes are always the same. 2 down, 2 over. And we talked about crossing the border, and what happens when we cross into silver land from bronze land is we have to go 3 over instead of 2 over to maintain that same note. Okay? But what if we start on a silver? Well, if we start on a silver, then we revert back to the bronze rules. So if we start here on C, which is that silver string, right? The B string in the first fret, right? If we start there and we go under 1, we have an F. Much like if we start in the bronze, we have a C, and right under is an F. So we go back to keeping it straight. So C, F, right? We have, here we would have a D and a G, okay? And if you look at the open strings, E, A, D, and what's under D is G, okay? And I'm just using the note dots. This applies for any note. I'm just giving you quick examples, all right? So here we would be an E, and of course under that would be an A, just like here in the gold is an E, and under there in the gold is an A. So once again, if we don't cross the border, if we stay within our territory, the 2-2 rule applies, and every note is always the same underneath it, okay? And if we start on the other side of the border, so we don't have to cross it, we're already there, then every note underneath the one we choose will be the same as it is up here. Okay, so that only applies when we're crossing the border. Okay. So let's look at how we would apply quickly this sort of philosophy right through the board. All right, so we'll start at the lowest possible here, that lowest possible fretted note on the guitar, which would be your F. Okay, so using that sort of philosophy, okay, we are going to play little sort of shapes using F as our key note. So F, G, right? And we're going to go down one string, F, right? We have A sharp or B flat, okay? And we have C, right? And then we have right here D sharp or E flat, and we have our F because F is always under C. So there's our octave. Now if we replace our ring finger, we can either slide it up and do this, or we can replace it here and do that. Right? So F, and we're going to do the same thing. Down 2, but now we cross the border. So we got to stretch out. There's our next F. And then I usually just take it one more and then come back. Same theory. Okay? All the way back up. So if we follow that again, we go F, 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 right? G, A, G, F. right? So there's the F from there to here, okay? And those notes every 2 frets, okay, are all friendly notes. So in a sense, what have we just done? We've played a scale. Is it an official scale? I don't know. Could be. It's kind of a pentatonic scale, but we went like this. F, G, instead of, if it was pentatonic, it would be that pinky out here. I know it's hard with the camera, but I'm using my, right? And then it would be these two. There's the pentatonic scale. Right? We didn't do that, but we used a lot of the notes. We used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We used 9 of those notes, but not all of them. So we sort of played the pentatonic scale, right? But the minute I stopped thinking I'm playing the pentatonic scale is when I realized I sound really good and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what scale I'm playing. I'm just playing the right notes. And at the end of the day, it's all about playing the right notes, right? So, all right, let's expand on that. So, again, I'm listening to a song, it's in G, okay? There's a G, I can start here. And I could go G, A, because I know 2 frets up is an A. And I know under the G is always a C. G and C always sound good together. Chords, keys, notes, all sound good together. It's like putting chocolate on the vanilla, right? Chocolate cream, syrup on vanilla, ice cream. There's my C, and I know if I go up 2, I'm going to have a D, right? Because C to 2 frets is a D, G to 2 frets is an A. So now I got this little box. And if I just played those 4 notes, which I would encourage you to do over and over in different combinations, you'll find you get little riffs, little things start to happen. If I play them, if I go, or whatever. There's all these little, and all I'm doing is 4 notes, up and down. Okay? So what did we do? We went G, A, C, D. And we figured that out because all we had to know was the first starting note. We knew that was a G. And then within, well, right now it'll be a few seconds, you'll know that that's an A. And your mind has to think, okay, C, and then of course that's a D. Oh, okay, there's my box. But as you get experience, remember when you learned how to play chords the first time? You didn't know. You had to look. You had to place your fingers. Same thing is going to happen now. Whole new learning curve, but this one will go quicker because you have a guitar foundation. You've got experience, you've got confidence, right? So when the pros do it, okay, they know instinctively, okay? They know those 4 notes instinctively. There's over 100 notes here. If you gave me no more than 5, I would know where they were. After that, I'd have to look. Or I'd have to use another note as a key to find that note. So the difference between us, or you and me, is exactly that, is practice and experience. And me and the pros is at a whole other level, the same thing. How quick mentally can I process that to make my fingers go where they have to go? And that comes from playing every day and practicing. So don't expect you're going to be like this right away. You're going to be like you did when you learned your chords. You're going to be fumbling around, looking around the fretboard. Perfectly okay. But I guarantee you, in no time, you'll be finding G and knowing that you've got a nice little box here. Now, let's find another G. So we know if we go down 2 and over 2, there's a G. Let's start there. G, so that must be an A, right? G, A. And what's always under G is a C, and that's got to be a D. So now I got... I got the same box here. And it's going to sound good because the same notes, just an octave different. So now I can... They're all going to sound good. So let's find another one. So we just did this one, right? All right, so let's go another one. Let's go... So there's my G, right? Because I crossed the border. So I went down across the border, and then I had to go over 3. So there's my new G. So what do I got? I got another box. G, A, you guessed it, C, D. Because I didn't cross the border here. I started on G, which was in silver. So I didn't have to go diagonal. So there's the same box. Sound familiar now? There's a solo spread out over a chord progression of, say, I don't know, G, C, D, G, A, D. It'll work with anything like that. And all we've done is played the same box in 3 different places on the guitar. And we kept the rules of when we cross the border, instead of 2-2, it's 2-3, maintains the integrity of everything, and everything will sound just fantastic. So on the next one, we will look at building on that, and learning how to move around using different, I call them shapes or boxes. All right? So once again, I thank you so much for the ongoing support. I will always bring these, even though we're looking at advanced things right now, it'll always be delivered in an easy to understand format. And rest assured, beginners, you can try this. There's nothing wrong with putting it into your memory, but do not get overwhelmed if maybe some of it doesn't make sense or you just don't get it. Don't worry about it. Continue what you're doing. Learn, build that foundation, learn your chords, get everything tight, and thank you again for the ongoing support. If you think I can help you either start playing guitar and get you to playing songs right away, or you're playing a little while and it's just a different way of looking at things, hit subscribe and we will see you next time. Bye.